Hey guys, so today I'll be discussing school with you. It'll be very deep and I'll be preaching throughout this whole entire video. Don't really know what I'm going to talk about. Just going to rant this whole time and let's see how it goes. So school. We all go to school and you go to school for 13 years and you graduate, and if you want to have a better life, you go to school for another 4 years or more if you want to have an even better life. And then once you graduate from that school, you go on, you get a job, you retire, and you die. There's life for you. Life in a nutshell. So let's look at it. People say, like, a lot of people in school say, like, man, school's like a prison. And then like all the teachers and all the authorities say, like, no, school is nice, school is friendly. But if you think about it, school is prison. If you're a kid and you want a job, then in Canada, sucks shit for you, because you have now, it is a law in Canada that you cannot be legally employed without a high school diploma or graduation, like full-time employment. And you're allowed to get part-time employment, I think, if you are in school right now, because or else nobody would be able to get summer jobs. But so if you don't want to go to school, well, that sucks. Your life is going down the drain, okay? So that's one way it's like a prison. Another way, well, that's pretty much the main reason. I mean, it's not optional. You go or you don't go. If you don't go, then you won't have a life, and yeah, that's basically it. And the thing is, it shouldn't be like that. First of all, I can see why they made it so you have to have a high school diploma to get a full-time job, so they don't have a bunch of idiot dropouts working at McDonald's, because nobody wants that. But, like, it shouldn't be mandatory. You shouldn't have to go to school, this prison, to get a job and to succeed in life. Like, there's so many people. Look over in India and all the third world countries, like all of Africa, and imagine like how many of those kids could have the cure to cancer trapped in their head, but they don't have the opportunity to go and succeed because they can't get a proper education. And the government has made it so if you can't get a proper education, then you're screwed. Nobody wants you if you don't have a proper education. And these kids, there's so many geniuses out there that just don't know it because they're writing all these tests. Like, everybody is a genius in their own way, and school dumbs that down. They force you into all these random things. Actually, no, not random, generalized things that just like crush your creativity. And you write all these tests, and there could be some genius that, like, if you read books, you see kids, it's like fantasy books, they don't go to school, they because it's like, I mean, it's like fantasy, that like school isn't really included in the book. They're basically just living their life. They do something, like they create something, they invent something, they become like the most rich person in the world because they made this and because they haven't been forced into education. And there's so many people that could be geniuses if it weren't for all the tests that we had to write in school, and if it weren't for the fact that they scored shitty on those tests. All these kids, like, they get a 67% on a test, and like, man, I'm stupid. Like, I can't do this stuff. I'm never gonna be anything. I can't be anything if I get a 67 on this test. Like, I'm dumb. But they're not. So many of these kids are geniuses. And when they, as soon as their parents put them in the school system, they lose, like, all, what's the word? All like, they lose all chance of being great in the way that they could be. There's only a select few people that come out of the school system and aspire to be great people. And that is because I don't know how they do it, but they get the motivation and then work their asses off all through school. Not because they have a creative, free mind and they just want to do things, but because they're motivational, they're motivated, and they just want to hunker down and study and get through school with good grades, and then when they get out, they get a good job, and then they can do good things. But the thing is, that's only like 1% of the population right there. Not even 1%. That's like 1% of the people that actually graduate. And then, like, there's so many people that could be great if they didn't go to school. Like, school, I'm gonna prove to you how pointless school is and how useless it is if you just have an idea, okay? Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and pretty much every other billionaire in the history of the universe dropped out of school because they had an idea. They set their mind to this idea. They had this genius idea and they knew it would get them somewhere. So they dropped out of school because school wasn't gonna help them. School doesn't help anybody. Like, it's pointless. And these people dropped out. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they dropped out. They pursued this idea. They made their companies and they made the most successful companies in the history of the world. Like, Steve Jobs had the idea of Apple and he dropped out and he pursued that. And I'm telling you, he went through some ups and downs. Like, he got fired from his own company once, okay? Like, life isn't easy. And school's not making it easier, okay? School's just blocking you from reaching your dreams. And I saw a picture, and it was something along the lines of when you put your kid into the school system, they're doomed to no longer be creative. And there's a picture of a little kid, like a 6-year-old, with angel wings on his back, and his parents with giant scissors cutting his wings. If you guys have never heard that expression, it's like cutting your wings or something like that. And basically, that means your ideas got shut down. And that's what it is. Albert Einstein quoted, like, I forget the exact quote, but it said, "Education is the killer of creativity." Albert Einstein. Oh yeah, he dropped out of school too, by the way. But not for the same reason as Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. Albert Einstein was just too smart for the people. He was teaching the teachers, to put it that way. And another thing I heard is, and I'm gonna talk about this, teachers are horrible. Like, we all have teachers, because we all go to school. As I explained earlier, if you're not going to school, then you're screwed. So you should probably start going to school. So, teachers are horrible. Teachers get paid worse than people that work at McDonald's, okay? These teachers should be honored. They should have money thrown at them to be teaching us how to be better human beings and how to succeed in life. Not Pythagorean's theory and freaking, like, mx plus b equals y, okay? We don't need to know that. If people want to be mathematicians, then they should learn that. There shouldn't be an education system. There should be an apprenticeship system. Because, so, until you're 12 years old, you live your life, you get, like, I don't know, taught by your parents, but not really taught like education. You learn from them. You learn from what they're doing. You learn how to live. You learn how to succeed, okay? And then once you're 12, you go and you be an apprentice. You join, once you're 12, you should know, man, I love doing this, okay? And you take these categories, which one applies to you, which ones you love. You go into that, you're in an apprenticeship program now, and then that person that you're apprenticed to, they teach you all you need to know to do this, and you will love it. You don't need to sit in a classroom and be taught shit that you don't want to know and that you're just gonna forget and then you'll never remember again or use again. You're gonna be taught stuff that you like. You want to take advantage of this stuff. You'll go home and you'll learn more of this because you love it so much. And that's why so many people are good at video games. You hop on a video game, you love that shit. That's awesome, that's fun. When you get home from school, you want to do that. When you're in school, you want to play video games because that's fun. You gotta do what you want to love. You gotta do what you love. And like sports, People get good at sports because they want to be better. They like it so much that they have a drive, an incredible drive to be better. They aspire. They want to be the best. And in the journey of reaching that goal, they're loving every second of it. And right now, going through school, we're all taking the journey of getting our freaking university diploma, our master's degree, to go into the workforce, get a new job. We don't have a drive to do that. We're only doing that because we have to. Nobody wants to do that. If you took a vote, say like, everybody who wants to stay in school and keep doing this shit, raise your hand. Guess how many hands would be in the air? Probably one, and it'll be that nerd in your class that just loves school and just sits in the classroom for like 30 minutes before the class starts, talks to the teacher. Props to that guy, man. Love ya. Can you lend me some of your motivation? Because I need it, okay? And that guy would probably score so good on exams and tests. He'd probably get 100, maybe even over 100. But he probably did get over 100, okay? Because he wants to. He goes home, he learns more of this because he likes it. Just like all of us like video games and sports. We go home and we do video games and sports because we like it. But he does that for school. Whereas since we're doing video games and sports and not school at home because we don't like it, we go to school and we take these tests and we get a bad mark on this test, and that defines us. That number with a percentage point after it defines who we're gonna be, and that shouldn't define who we're gonna be. Like, that's so wrong. The thing that should define what we're gonna be is what we wanna be. That we gotta define ourselves, okay? Not let this crooked system define our lives, okay? And that is why the education and school system is corrupted, okay? Go do what you love, chase your dreams, pursue your goals, and you'll get there.